Welcome to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Every week, you can have the conversations you've always wanted to have about the films you love.
Shut up!
We're gonna get you, not another peep.
Get rid of your distractions and prepare yourself.
Then lock your door. 5, 6, gonna crucifix.
You got a big surprise coming to you. You're not going anywhere.
Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here.
And Scotty Bonin with you guys.
We are the Blood Brothers. And the amazing Carmelo Chimera filling in for the Rob.
No one could fill Rob's shoes, but I'm sure going to try tonight, guys.
Well, they can't because no one's 400 pounds and hairy and sweaty.
Rob doesn't weigh that much.
I know. He doesn't weigh that much.
Maybe like 230, I think he said. Yeah.
230.
Well, you guys got him using the treadmill once he started on Cult Classic Horror, right? So he's been walking the pounds off.
Well, I think he got rid of it. He brought up last whatever. I don't know. Maybe it was for CCA. I don't know. I remember what it was, but he said he got rid of his Bowflex in the garage. So,
he said he'd hurt his back. Maybe that's what happened. He threw his back out walking on his Bowflex, and
that's what it is.
I think he was eating the Ben & Jerry's and the ice cream spilt and just messed up the electrical work, so it just fried up. But,
yeah, Rob, you can't drink root beer floats while you're on the treadmill.
it's savage, guys.
No, but nevertheless, it's great to have you on, Carmelo. As we were saying,
for those of you that don't know, but I think all of you do know, Carmelo is a regular host on the Cult Classic Action Show, which is only available to patrons. So if you want to check that out, we are going to be doing Die Hard Friday night, so in a couple nights here.
Yes.
For our Christmas film.
Cannot wait.
Best way to keep the Christmas spirit alive.
It is. Watch Die Hard and listen to us talk about it.
That's right.
I didn't watch it anyways. Every
Well, here we are, Gremlins. We just could not get the damn schedule. We almost didn't even do this tonight. We were trying to get the schedule worked out with Rob, with all our holiday schedules working, and it was not working. And we're like, maybe we should just do it some on Christmas or just blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, we're just going to fucking do it tonight.
You already put it out there that we are doing Gremlins, so we have to make it happen, guys.
So here we are doing Gremlins. I watched it yesterday. I watched it last night. But it was after I had got home from working, and so it was like I couldn't do the last 20 minutes. I was literally holding my eyes open, so I had to watch the last 20 minutes today.
I powered through it, man. I mean, me and Danny both got home from doing Scrooge the musical at our parents' dinner theater.
Yeah, for the 700th time.
700th time. Yeah, we're doing 31 shows in 22 days or something like that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because we do double headers on Saturdays and Sundays, so it's we're both in the show singing and dancing.
It's
and
crazy.
Doing but we just got out tonight too. So, but yeah, we both fit in Gremlins last night.
So last minute, and everyone who's listening that knows something's wrong, it's because Scotty's not in the room. That's why he doesn't say things at the same time, and we cut each other off. So if he just get his lazy ass over to my house.
Yeah, well, but I only had one car tonight, and I was with the wife.
We don't need to know about all that.
But I would have had to drop her off and then come to your house. It just would have.
Whoa! I don't want to know the slang for that out in Colorado. I don't care if you dropped her off or what. I don't want to know what that means.
You know what I mean.
Carmelo's last minute addition, so I don't even think he got to refresh himself on the movie this year.
I did not. I mean, I've seen it. So I actually didn't watch Gremlins when I was like a kid, like you might expect. It actually scared me too much. Like the monsters freaked me out when I was little. And so I saw it for the first time as an adult, and watched it again as recently as last year. So maybe I've got kind of a different perspective on it. I think a lot of people maybe have some nostalgia for it that I didn't quite get. But I didn't get to watch it in the last couple of days, so it's not super fresh, but I've seen it somewhat recently.
Yeah, I had seen it before this, but it's been so long, like literally, I don't even remember any of it, and so it was good for me to watch it yesterday. And yeah, I can see the nostalgia. It's one of those other under the radar considered quote unquote Christmas films that a lot of people watch every year at this time, and I can see that. It's got a nice little setting. It was actually filmed on the Universal backlot, so using a lot of the same stuff used in Back to the Future 1985, which was a year later than this.
Yeah, the theater that blows up involved in the accident with Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, was the same theater that they used in this too. So a lot of the same stuff, and they used it in the Back to the Future too as well. And
I think it's almost, maybe not for 1984, but for 2018, watching this film, it's almost so obvious that they're on a soundstage the whole time, like with the fake snow and with everything, that it might as well just be like the Jim Carrey Grinch or something as far as setting.
Oh, the Jim Carrey Grinch looks like Ron Howard threw up onto the film stock. I mean, I like that movie probably more than most people, and I
love that movie.
It's wild and it's great and it's funny, but it's also like it's just like a puke of color on the screen.
Yeah, it is.
Silly.
It's just funny for this one. It's a bright sunny day, and you see him walking down, and there's just snow everywhere. But it's like 80 degrees right now, and it's in California.
Yeah, really. So yeah, they definitely. So they're always outside, and it's like nighttime and snow is everywhere, and they're in these lighter jackets. Like that they would be freezing their asses off.
They're sweating their heads off doing that. And there was a lot of good Christmas songs in it and stuff too. So I did feel a little holiday spirit with this one for sure. Yeah, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So this is one of those movies that like I've been watching. I have a 2-year-old daughter, and she's getting to the phase where we don't let her watch a whole ton of TV, but sometimes I'm just like, just flip over. I'm just going to put on the TV and keep her occupied. And so it's like all the old cartoons, every Mickey Mouse thing. There's just always like critters or things just fucking shit up, like rooms or like I was watching Mickey today, and he's trying to get glue, but then he like gets it on Goofy's head, and then Goofy like gets ink on the floor. It just like really stresses me out. Like watching that shit, and Gremlins falls in that category because they're just like fucking everything in the house up. Like I don't know about you guys, but when I watch that, it just like stresses me out. I'm like, no, oh fuck, that's gonna fall. Oh, he just got egg everywhere. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
That's the difference when you watch something like this as an adult. And, you're like, oh, who's gonna clean that shit up?
Exactly.
Over the carpet, the fridge. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Oh, the microwave. Oh, good God.
That was honestly the scare. That's exactly what I thought when the mom was like, she killed like 3 or 4 of them, and there was the microwave one, and just she's gone on the rampage, and I'm like, I guess she's gonna have to clean all this shit up.
Right.
Yeah.
This is really gonna suck.
You know what's funny? You mentioned the microwave kill was the one that like I walked in on this movie when I was maybe 6 or 7 and saw it on TV. Saw the microwave kill,
wow.
lost my shit, and couldn't sit through the rest of it.
And this movie's PG, and I mean,
is it?
Yeah, it's PG.
Well, that's interesting because it's PG, but this movie and Temple of Doom actually were responsible for the PG-13 rating.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Spielberg had the pull to actually change the MPAA rating system, and he made the argument for he was able to make this PG, but when it came to Temple of Doom, it came back with an R rating, and he kind of successfully made the pitch that there needed to be an intermediary. But that kind of argument would have fallen on deaf ears if he wasn't Steven freaking Spielberg.
Well, yeah, of course.
Right. Wow.
This movie definitely gets dark fast, with these gremlins, because you have these cute gremlins, and all of a sudden shit goes off the wall, and then people are getting microwaved, you know?
Well, idiot Billy, who is played by Zach Galligan, gets the gremlin wet, and his dad told him not to get the gremlin wet, and he feeds him food after midnight. He just fucks up the whole time, and that's it. It's his own fault. So
yeah, we're very stressed out.
Yeah, he really brings this all on himself, doesn't he?
Yeah. I feel like I recognize the dad from something, but I don't know what. I should just look it up.
Yeah, Randall Meltzer, his dad. He played. His name is Hoyt Axton, I believe. Yeah, he seems like he's been in like a lot of, I don't know, like family movies or something. But he has that very familiar voice too.
Released on the same day as Ghostbusters. That's interesting.
Yeah. And Steven Spielberg does actually. Well, he's executive producer of this. He does make a cameo as a man riding the recumbent bicycle. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did not.
Yeah, I don't even know
missed that, yeah.
it is, but he's in it.
Huh.
Gosh, that really surprises me that it came out on the same day as Ghostbusters, because both these movies I think are pretty squarely cult classics, and Ghostbusters has such a powerful fandom that it's amazing to me that it didn't just completely annihilate Gremlins and beat it into obscurity.
I'm like surprised at how popular Gremlins is. I really am. Like people live and die by it. Like they love Gremlins.
Look at this, guys. I just looked up the top 5 movies in 1984 that was released at box office. Ghostbusters was number 1. Beverly Hills Cop was number 2. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom was number 3, and Gremlins was number 4.
Really?
Wow.
See, that's just
Karate Kid was number 5.
That's just crazy to me that Gremlins was that popular. I guess Spielberg. What? It's Spielberg. Had he done a ton before this? I guess.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, he at least had Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Without even looking at it, we have to know that.
How do you go from Raiders of the Lost Ark to Gremlins? I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool little movie. It seems more like something Peter Jackson would do in his Dead Alive phase, you know?
I mean, yeah, exactly.
With the comedy and with the darkness, you know? Yeah,
I love Dead Alive.
Yeah.
No, but Steven Spielberg did Twilight Zone, the movie, before this. He did E.T.
Okay.
Lost Ark, Jaws, 1975. But yeah, there's only a few before that. So
yeah, but those are the 3.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
E.T. I mean, I think that was the movie that basically made him like. And could do no wrong.
Well, I have a feeling that had Spielberg not been executive producing Gremlins and it was still the same movie, I bet it wouldn't have got half the marketing or half the popularity that it has today. You know.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah,
is what I'm almost. Yeah, I mean, it was good. It was. Don't get me wrong, and it's a fun time, and I wouldn't mind watching it like next Christmas, every Christmas. You know, it's not bad.
Yeah,
but.
I wasn't aware that you could bring your dog to the bank to work, though. Billy just
it was a different time. You didn't have to walk it on a leash either.
Yeah, no leash, and he kind of looks like Benji, but a little bit bigger. The old Benji dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Benji. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to when I was a kid. I love Benji.
Benji, good old Benji, and Milo and Otis.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Milo and Otis. My wife showed me that for the first time when we were dating. I didn't grow up on Milo and Otis, but she insisted I watch it.
When you watch it now, like I don't know, it's just not because now they have movies where like the dogs' mouths move when they talk, and they're like real dogs. You know what I mean? And
right.
I mean they CGI the mouths obviously, but it's like looks real enough. And Milo and Otis is more like a narrated. Just I don't know. It's all right still.
It's got that soothing voice of the guy that narrates, and he plays the voices of everyone.
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
It's sort of dumb. It's like I don't know. It's all right.
I was just gonna say he sounds soothing. It's like a great movie for kids to just kind of like chill their asses out.
Gonna take a walk outside today. Gonna see what we can find today. That's the song.
On the PC before. I think
all right.
Brought up on Otis.
We might have brought it up. We probably did.
Of course, we see. Sorry. God, I keep cutting you off. See, this is so bad. We're in
Yep.
different rooms.
It's not good. It's not good. Did you know that each of these Gremlins cost between $30,000 and $40,000? The animatronics.
Each gremlin?
Yeah, and I don't know how many they use, because obviously in like the movie theater scene, and then when they're walking down the street, there's a ton of like, I don't know if you would call it CGI, because I don't know if that's what they really use, but
Animation.
you know,
sort.
animation of some kind or whatever, you know, of duplicating the Gremlins on the screen. So
Oh, that's a ton. Holy shit.
yeah,
man.
so I wonder how many they actually made. You know, maybe like 10 or something. I don't know, or like 8.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have the main one, Gizmo, and then when they get wet, they turn into whatever, possessed gremlins or what? Crazy gremlins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When I get my wife wet and feed her after midnight,
Yeah, then she gets
same thing.
I had a friend who used to say that, Carmelo, girlfriends come with the same rules that gremlins do.
Yep.
And I'm not quite sure I understood, but yeah, it's not the first time I've heard that. Weirdly,
Don't get them. See, I was gonna agree with that and actually bring that up, but then it's don't get them wet. I think you're supposed to get them wet.
Well,
Girlfriends, not gremlins.
girlfriends, yeah.
I mean, definitely don't feed them after midnight. But
No.
and
and
then the other one, sunlight.
sunlight, yeah, depending on how they look, you know, keep them out of the light.
Then Billy flashes the mirror in Gizmo's face. An idiot.
Son of a bitch.
Gizmo, the voice of Gizmo was Howie Mandel.
Yeah, I saw that. That is just crazy.
No, weird.
I wondered why Howie Mandel is even popular or famous at all. Is it because of this? Why is Howie Mandel famous? Has he done other
Doesn't he
shit?
host Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, well, I thought he was like hosts it because he's famous, but maybe not. Maybe he's famous because he hosts it. I don't. You know.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know which one came first.
Right, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, about the Gremlins, that was interesting is I read that they originally tried to use, believe it or not, monkeys to play the Gremlins. They tried to put costumes on monkeys, and then during the test, the monkey freaked out because it had like had the Gremlin head on. It just kind of lost its mind. So so apparently they were like, well, kind of go with the $40,000 puppet, and it kind of makes me wonder, like, do you think the monkey would have been cheaper, or by the time you have like a monkey wrangler and pay for bananas, like, is it, you know?
I mean, they probably eat a lot of bananas.
Yeah.
Interesting to see the monkeys, but yeah, I mean, it'd be definitely, I would think, hard to control them, and even though that it's easier, but that would have been fun to see, though.
God, wasn't Mrs. Deagle just a huge bitch?
Yeah, she's terrible.
God, she just cuts everyone in line at the bank like 3 times. She wants to kill the. What is it with this Wizard of Oz reference? Wanting her to kill the dog.
She was like Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, that's
complete Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, that's. Anyways, what are some of my personal notes here? Oh, I thought that the carolers were out very late. I know you're not refreshed tonight, Carmelo, but there was like. Because these are some of these personal notes are just like little things I noticed that you wouldn't really remember, you know.
Sure.
There's like a scene when, like, it's when the kid's neighbor who drives a tractor around town all the time is drunk off his ass at the bar, and she's closing up, and so they make him walk home, and then they walk home. And they walk by a house where there's carolers singing outside. It's like, really? Did you just close the bar at like 2 a.m.? Or at least 10. I mean, can we all agree that a bar closes the earliest a bar closes is like 10?
I give you 10 without question. I'm thinking the bar closes at 2, and there's carolers out at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, they have.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're casing houses to rob them.
That's what they're doing. Yeah. That's
it's all show. Yeah,
that's right. It's an act.
So I thought they were out late, and then the guy when the Gremlins do eat, it's the chicken, right? They get a whole plate full of chicken.
Billy gives him the chicken,
but he gets it out of the fridge. It's not even in Tupperware. Just like mom took the plate of chicken and shoved it in the fridge. You can't do that.
Well, at dinner that night, she just shoved it in there.
Yeah, but you can't not cover it with like cellophane or something.
Foil
Yeah,
or
but we've seen how messy she is when she kills all the gremlins in the kitchen. She clearly does not keep a nice home.
No, she doesn't keep it or an orderly home.
That's right. That's right. This kid has no discipline. Can't even follow three damn rules. You know.
No, they need to sign up for the school of Burt Young.
That's right.
Burt Young parenting.
A firm hand is what these kids need.
Yeah, and that wife.
nice whooping.
I don't
Burt Young would
condone.
have whooped the gremlins, I'll tell you that.
Disclaimer: I don't condone domestic violence. Only if Burt Young's doing it.
But Burt Young, he transcends nothing really. I mean, that movie was about a guy who goes crazy and murders his whole family, right? So maybe it's not the best example of parenting.
Yeah, and it wasn't even Burt Young that goes crazy. So there
That's
you go.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He failed. See, his methods failed to prevent the massacre.
Well, Mrs. Peltzer went crazy. I mean, that's when things started going down. I mean, there's all those inventions that are in the house that her husband uses, and what's the first one was like that little like coffee grinder or something. Or
I don't even know if that was the first one. The first one was the egg cracker that didn't work.
Oh yeah,
The eggs and this little egg, this bird bobblehead just like smashed the shit out of the eggs. I don't know how it was supposed to work in the first place. Yeah, that thing didn't work at all.
Remote walkie-talkie thing to get the phone to work, that wasn't working, and it was pretty cool though. He was an inventor, and none of his inventions. I mean, I actually probably thought the little block with the toothpaste in it, and the toothbrush, and the razor, that was pretty cool.
That was a piece of shit.
It was shit.
These kids also had school on Christmas Eve. Everyone was working too. It was the 24th. No one has school on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's absurd. I'll be lucky if I put pants on Christmas Eve. It's not gonna.
Yeah, you don't have like 8 Christmases to go to like I do?
Actually, I'm throwing Christmas Eve at my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we do have like 6 different Christmases going on. I just kind of had to do my best with this one.
So you just tell everyone, "Fuck you guys! I'm at my house."
Exactly. Yeah, and even if it just ends up being me sitting alone watching Batman Returns, it's going to be a pretty good Christmas party.
Oh, is that why Batman Returns?
Oh, that's my favorite Christmas movie. I watch it every year when I wrap my presents.
Is that technically? I guess it is a Christmas movie, right? It takes place Christmas?
Yeah, it's super Christmas. The last line of the movie is Merry Christmas.
Dude, I can't even remember all the Batmans. Is that the one with Mr. Freeze in it, or the Penguin? I don't even know.
It's the one with the penguin, yeah.
Okay, all right. Is it Mr. Freeze in the Penguin one too, or is that different?
No, Mr. Freeze is in the fourth one, Batman and Robin.
Oh, so who is it? Just the Penguin in Batman Returns?
No, it's a very, very wonderful performance by Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman.
Oh yes, Catwoman.
Yeah, and of course Max Schreck, played by Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a classic.
I have not just gotten into the older Batmans in a while.
Seen them. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen every Batman. It's just I don't know that I've seen them all I've seen a lot of them more than once, but I don't know that I've seen all of them more than once.
Sure, yeah.
It is during Christmas time. That's right. I remember that.
I have not actually. You know what? I take that back. I have not seen all the Batmans. I have not seen Batman versus. I have not seen Ben Affleck as Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're probably fine missing that.
I heard it was pretty bad. Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm such a huge comic.
Yeah, is that even a competition? Like, I don't want to
much, but
yeah,
it's just that and I don't think Ben Affleck was the problem with that movie. Like, it has problems. He's actually pretty good, but the problem is that movie is a dark, depressing mess, and it's very convoluted, and there's a lot of crap jammed into it. And the characters are like all wrong. Superman's just this sad, brooding thing, and Batman is running around like murdering people. It's just it's just like wrong. But but there's like some good stuff in there. There's some stuff where Batman's wearing this armor he wore in the comics. So if you're a fan of the comics, you kind of get some payoff, and there's some of that stuff. Also, I hate Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, but he's got some killer dialogue. He's got some really good. He does a lot of like clever wordplay that these kind of weird trains of thoughts, and it's just It's actually really smart, like philosophy he's got. I just hate his delivery and his performance. It's terrible.
Now, like they did one time when you sold a bunch of comics, do they sneak in Batman's cock anywhere?
Well, I mean, naturally, there's a scene where Ben Affleck is working out, preparing for his big fight, and I mean, he's basically it might as well be full frontal nudity.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to go off on the tangent either, but it just seems like there in no world could Batman even be a challenge for Superman, but don't they he has something that weakens Superman? I don't even know. I don't even want to go into it.
I mean, I tend to agree with you that I think if Superman wanted to end that fight, I don't think Batman has a hope in hell. He I mean, they do their best to explain that Superman kind of goes into the fight not wanting to fight, and Batman is kind of coming at he's got kryptonite and all these other tricks and stuff like that. And my favorite fights with them in the comic books are where Batman whips out everything he's got and barely holds his own. And of course by whip it out, I'm of course talking about his Batcock. But everything but that he whips out and he still can't do it. My favorite fight, he's got a kryptonite ring on and he's beating Superman with it, and he's I just lost my last layer of Kevlar. Okay, I just lost one of my knuckles. Okay, I just shattered my wrist. I can't keep hitting him because even with kryptonite, I'm punching a brick fucking wall.
All right. Yeah. All right. I do like Christian Bale Batman. Christian Bale.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, Gremlins.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody.
Gremlins. Jonathan Banks is in this. He plays Mike in Better Call Saul and or Breaking Bad.
Oh my God, that's right.
He's the deputy.
I love that guy.
Yeah. I didn't notice it at first until I really took a second look.
Oh my God, he is the best.
Oh, Scotty's trying to talk again. I can't even.
I'm sorry, Scotty. I feel like I keep talking over you. I apologize.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're a little muffled for a second.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Now you're fine.
Okay. Yeah. I noticed him right away, but he has hair, of course, in this. But he's been in a ton of shit, though. I mean, we just think of him from Breaking Bad, but he's been, Beverly Hills Cop, Airplane, 48 Hours. But it was cool to see him in this.
Yeah.
Mike Ehrmantraut, man, he's the man on Breaking Bad.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
I live my life by that speech he gives. No half measures. I swear to God, that speech changed my life.
I got to rewatch that. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to rewatch all of Breaking Bad and finish Better Call Saul. And
I got the whole this season saved on my DVR. I haven't even watched it, so.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah,
I'm still in the first season of Better Call Saul. I love it. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
So hard.
But speaking of the awesome people in Gremlins, Phoebe Cates is in Gremlins.
Yeah, is she the girlfriend? Is that or who's?
Yeah, she's the
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
Kate plays. She's pretty good in this.
Yeah, she's very good.
She's not bad looking.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's got that that look for that era. She's not bad. She's not like crop top, belly hang late 90s hot, but Jennifer Love can do it.
Right, late 90s hot.
The skinny waist jeans and stuff.
Yeah, when all these things I was seeing when I was 15 hot.
Yeah. Right.
Of course, we have Corey Feldman as Pete.
Corey, did they make a movie from in the 80s that doesn't have Corey Feldman in it?
Well, this was
I think he might. I don't think he was in Temple of Doom, but that's only because there were scheduling conflicts with this one.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Little Asian boy instead.
He what?
Because they had the little Asian boy instead.
Yeah.
Clearly, that part was written for Corey Feldman, and they were like, "We don't have him. Let's just grab some Asian kid from the set."
Exactly. Which he rocked. God.
Oh, Short Round is the best.
Yeah, that's his real name.
Corey did. He did Friday the 13th, the final chapter, the same year as this.
Really?
Did he the same year?
And he did Friday the 13th first, and then Gremlins right after. Those were his two movies that gave him a boost to stardom, and then he went on to do tons of stuff after that. He was just a little kid in this. He was the Christmas tree. He was Christmas tree.
Like, what the fuck happened to Corey Feldman? I mean, I know he did get into some drugs,
I
right?
don't know. He lost his mind.
Oh, he had like a band there for a while, and then
I just don't know how you. It frustrates me because you have it made when you're in movies that young and you just keep doing them. I mean, look at DiCaprio; he's making millions. He's like a respected actor. There's other examples too of kids that young, but then so many of them just fucking fly off the handle, like Macaulay Culkin and
oh yeah,
and you hear stories about like their parents taking advantage of them and stuff, and I think that's probably part of it. But another part of it is, imagine being that successful, that young, you miss out on a lot of what I think are important developmental, opportunities, just like playing as a normal kid or like going to school as a normal kid and getting socialized and stuff. That's all. We take that for granted, but that's probably the most important part of school when you're young. Yeah. And maybe you're missing out on that when you're a big celebrity.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You probably get like a lot. You could probably get a finger a lot of girls though, in middle school. When you're a celebrity.
Oh, I'm sure you're just the king of the playground. You're probably holding hands with all the girls or whatever.
Late night golf action.
I went to Catholic grade school. I remember getting yelled at. Not me personally, but our class would get yelled at because the girls and the boys were holding hands at recess.
And
boy! Got to leave room for the Holy Spirit. So
you can't do that. PDA, babe. You can't do that. You cannot do that. No, Corey Feldman had some sexual allegations against, actually the most recent one was January 2018.
What?
Sexual battery. A woman walked into a police station filing a report that claimed Corey grabbed her butt in 2017. So there's just a few things that I don't know. And then wait, what else? It says on March 28th, Corey was stabbed by 3 men in an attempted murder attack, and it was immediately hospitalized.
What?
Was that this year?
That was in 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
How did I miss that story?
Really? God, it must be the 800 layers of spray tan that saved him.
But the LAPD later stated that they had not seen any lacerations on Corey.
What? Wait, what? Hold on. So not only is there an attempt on Corey Feldman's life, but it might have been a faked attempt on his life?
They were like the knives that push in, like we used in fucking West Side Story in high school.
It's the collapsible knives. Yeah.
Oh God, that's so good. Everything I learned in the last 60 seconds is just so good.
And Feldman, he is not facing charges for sexual battery. There was just he was accused but never found guilty of that.
Oh, it was just as fake as the stabbing, apparently.
Exactly. He's still working. He did. Well, actually, no. I guess he's not. He did Sharknado 3.
No, that doesn't count.
In 2015, and he's doing.
Yeah, but I was in Sharknado 3. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
right. He's in Corbin Nash, which I've never heard of that, and that's 2018.
Can I just say I tried to watch the first Sharknado, and I've never got past that. And oh God, Tara Reid just looks like hell in it.
Just haggard
and rode hard, put away wet, just like she just looks like total hell in it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen those movies.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. Son of a bitch. Oh, what does that mean? It's time for the horror halftime. Couple
exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Couple participants. But we got the same dedicated fans again, just doing the memes, so we don't have a winner no wiener this time around. Still, but
Smith's Horror Story. There had been some good memes for that one.
I think there was only like one or two actually, really, and then it goes back to Santa's sleigh. And if I'm reading it right, we got Teddy Thomas here pulling out the Judd, which I always love, of course. We got. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah, we got David Martin pointing out my awesome joke from Frasier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you probably didn't listen to the last episode, right, Carmelo? I made a joke about Douglas furs and Fraser furs and Niles furs.
I actually just listened to that on my way to work today. I love Frasier, so you really cracked me up with that. That was really good. But I got to tell you what, I was listening to the episode with my wife on the way home from work the day before. I was listening to the first half of it, and we had started Christmas Horror Story last year and never finished it. And I was like, oh, we really got to finish this movie. And she's like, yeah, but it doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay. I mean, it was entertaining, but it wasn't like the very best well-made movie. That's for sure.
Well, so some good ones there. Thank you guys for participating. No official Horror Freak of the Week winner, but as we keep saying, we're going to reset everything come January, so all you dedicated fans can win again, and we'll send you something different. So yeah, really only, God, I don't know how to count. There's like 2 or 3 more episodes left in December. I don't know how many Thursdays there are left, or Wednesdays, I should say, left in December. But 2. Okay, well, come January, you guys can win again. So keep participating. Okay, cool. That concludes the horror halftime.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
So apparently one of the studio notes to the director, Joe Dante, and exec Steven Spielberg, on seeing the first cut of the film, they saw that there were too many Gremlins. And then Spielberg suggested cutting them all out and calling the movie People. But that was obviously a sarcastic remark on his part. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty sure that's Steven Spielberg flipping them the bird.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah.
That reminds me of Amadeus. There's too many notes. You remember? Am I a nerd for remembering that from music class?
Yeah, you are.
I have no. You know why? You know why I remember that? Why? Then the movie's okay. It's a decent movie. Amadeus is a good movie, but I just remember that because literally we watched it in music class, and like I think it was like elementary school or maybe it was middle school, and then like the teacher totally like nerded the fuck out on that line. Like afterwards, they're like, "He said too many notes. Did you guys all catch that? Too many notes. You can't have too many notes in a composition." I was like, "Oh my god." Anyways, moving back to Gremlins.
Yeah, that's so awkward. Anyways, Gremlins. Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. I noted that the scene, they're walking past the cemetery and Phoebe Cates explains like how her dad died at Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's like an urban legend. That's not like something they made up for the movie.
I think I have heard that before.
Yeah, and I think I'd heard it recently, and I felt really bad about it. And now I'm remembering that it's in Gremlins, but I guess they wanted to cut it, and the studio was like, "No, that's way too dark." And Joe Dante like insisted, "This sums up this movie is like this like dark story that's also like set at Christmas, and you're not sure if it's funny or if it's sad." And that's why they wanted to cut it. Like they weren't sure if that was supposed to be funny or not. And Spielberg didn't like the scene either, but he stuck up for Dante and was like, it's his project, which I think is really cool for Spielberg because he could have just done it however he wanted.
Yeah.
And,
I like the story because at first you're sort of drawn in and you're like, oh, like what happened to this poor girl's father? And then like it's ending and you're like, oh, it's just this like ridiculous, funny death.
Yeah. And it seems like Billy isn't taking her serious at all. Like nothing. Like he just doesn't know how to like hit on a girl. It doesn't seem like, or just mac on her.
I mean, he could be just Pound Town that Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I mean, she's sad. She's vulnerable. It's that time of year. He's obviously irresponsible. He doesn't care about such things. He can't take care of his own pet, let alone the emotional needs of another human being. So he could have totally gone for that, and none of us would have expected better from him.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with the kid in Santa's sleigh.
I know.
You can't close the deal. You can't close on. It's fucking ridiculous.
That kid couldn't even be bothered to like take his pants off, so there's that.
Yeah, no. I want to see this scene. It says in the novelization, which on a side note, the novel when they make novels like short novels after the movie's made, I don't really get that. I don't know why they do that. Like I own the
cash grab.
Yeah, I own the Alien Resurrection novelization with like pictures in it and shit, you know?
Why?
I don't know, man. My mom knew I loved aliens when I was that age, and like she got me the novel. It's like 100 pages, if that.
Oh, I just wish I could erase all evidence of Alien Resurrection. I hate that.
There are some good things. There are some good performances, I should say. Good performances.
Good performances, but the whole storyboard was just, I don't know.
You just can't hate that much on Ron Perlman, you know.
I'm going to let this slide because I defended Batman versus Superman a little while ago, and I kind of feel guilty about it. So I'm going to let you have this one.
Okay.
Or the Crow. I forgot what the hell his name is, but he's in it too.
We already talked. We already took up like 10 minutes on an episode covering the Crow.
Yeah.
Speaking of, next time I call Classic Action, the Crow.
The Crow. Anyways, what I was saying, the novelization explains Mr. Wing's grandson was severely punished by his grandfather in the back alley for selling Gizmo behind his back.
Oh.
I can just picture.
Is Burt Young back?
Well, I think I'm bringing someone else in here. I can just picture the grandfather just shoving his son into the back alley. There's like one light on, like Dick Tracy or something, like a crime, you know. And someone steps out of the shadows and just is like, "All right, you go on and drop your pants now, boy." Yeah. Why don't you bend over before I make you bend over?
Judd's a homeless old man now.
He gets paid to severely punish Asian children.
Oh, dear God.
He's in Chinatown at all times.
I knew it was coming. I could see it coming. No one could stop it.
Now, I heard you've been a real bad boy now. So you go on and get yourself a good old... You get yourself naked while Judd gets a good old hard-on. And lube it up with some snow. I got nothing.
You know, I will remind you that Rob just warned on the last episode that this is going to infuse itself into your personality.
I know.
He talks like Judd just out of nowhere.
I do not. You guys just think it. You're just putting it together in your heads.
Because it comes so naturally to you.
Is that a Mogwai you got there? Because that's what they're called, Mogwai, with that Chinese guy.
Yeah,
so,
I forgot what. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, novelization. Don't understand. You know what? I just read, or I'm reading a novelization of Anna and the Apocalypse, which is coming out. Which I interviewed the director a couple weeks ago. So they're still doing that. Like, I didn't know that was, like, you know, a thing that's still done a lot. Novelizations of a movie after it's made. Crazy.
Yeah, I didn't either. But that's right. You just did that interview.
Yeah, so check that out. That movie actually looks like it's going to be pretty fucking awesome. Have you seen previews for that, Carmelo?
It looks so good.
Have you?
It looks so good.
Yeah, it looks it looks pretty good. I saw like IMDb pushing it. So
real?
Yeah, it was like on their Facebook or something like that. So I'm not even sure. I think it might be out as of yesterday, actually, in select theaters. So go check that out. Anna and the Apocalypse. It's a zombie musical, sort of written after like you know they did a play on words, High School Musical, but zombie musical, and it takes place in like Scotland, and it's pretty funny, and it's very gory and everything. So check it out, and then after you watch it, listen to our interview with the director. That was posted a couple weeks ago. Anyways.
Yep. Fucking A. Apparently, Steven Spielberg considered Tim Burton to direct the movie before Dante. But then he decided against it because at the time, Burton had never directed a full feature-length movie yet.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. 84. I thought, I guess not.
You know, and on the one hand, I feel like he could have nailed it, but on the other hand, like, Tim Burton doesn't know how to do a movie that is not stamped with Tim Burton all over.
Oh yeah, and doesn't have Johnny Depp in it.
I agree.
Right.
Or
Johnny Depp,
what's the girl's name?
Bottom Carter.
Yeah, Bottom Carter. Yeah.
Exactly. But he has
Johnny Depp banging Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim Burton films it, I guess.
That's all he wants to see.
whatever, man. Like whatever floats your boat, dude. I don't judge. Whatever he needs. But like and I love Tim Burton. I was just talking about how much I love Batman Returns, and it is very Tim Burton. But like, so when you want that, when you need Tim Burton, you got to get Tim Burton. But if you want literally any other kind of movie, then you can't hire Tim Burton. No,
you can't. You just you're right. I don't think you can do. He could do one that's not just that style. Yeah, it's well, you mentioned Joe Dante before. He was part of The Howling, and I didn't catch this. This is one of those stupid things where the smiley face image on the fridge door is supposed to be a nod to The Howling, and I don't know. Is that really true? I mean, it's just like some people say shit like that in movies, and I'm like, right.
Well, I even just read here that the department store where Stripe attacks Billy with a chainsaw was in homage to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
What? But just because they use a chainsaw?
Because
I mean, just because they're using a chainsaw, and that's it. I mean, people are reaching here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you know that the smiley face on the fridge is in homage to The Howling?
Yeah, like in what way? Because people smile during The Howling at some point? Like, what does this? Am I just not remembering The Howling very well? Is there a smiley face?
You don't know what you're talking about. I'd fuck the shit out of Stirba. Stirba. I think that's from the second Howling. Technically, is the king of the werewolves, the lady, the witch lady, whatever. They're all pretty horrible movies. The first one's okay, but
first one's the rest are just oh my god.
Yeah.
So bad.
Okay. Anyways,
but Joe Dante, what a great director!
Yes,
gave us The Burbs. Gave us.
You know what? I've never seen The Burbs. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah. Isn't it like I understand it. I understand it's a comedy, but is there a darker side to it too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's what I am.
It's macabre.
Okay, I need to watch it. I just need to do it.
Oh yeah, you'd love it. I really think you'd enjoy it.
Okay, all right.
Tom Hanks, Corey Feldman. It's a good cast too.
I know we passed this up already, but I'm just thinking of Carmelo's Family Christmas, where there's like 18 mob families, and there's like just everyone brought their homemade cannolis and there's like 8 different kinds of marinara sauces, and
I wish I could tell you that's not true, but no, it is. Our spread at Christmas is it's opulent beyond like your wildest imagination, and we don't. We have the cannoli sometimes, but I got one for you. Maybe you haven't heard of a very popular Italian treat. We call them spingi. The spingi are like donuts almost. They're like a fried dough, usually covered in honey. We only get them around Christmas time, so this is a very special treat to have the spingi.
Spingi, huh? Wait. Describe it one more time.
So it's. The closest thing I can think of is that it's like a donut, but they're balls of dough fried and covered in honey, and so normally the dough on the outside gets nice and kind of crispy, and the inside is extremely soft. It's an extremely soft dough on the inside, and it's not dense. It's not like a cake donut. It's more I don't know, whatever the opposite of dense is. So they're really terrific, and all my aunts make them, and I could probably Pepsi challenge which aunt made the spingies because I know who fries them a little too long and they get a little too crispy, and I could tell.
Well, I wasn't far off.
No, you really nailed it, actually.
I want to come to a Christmas party at your house.
Yeah.
Anytime you guys are in Chicago, you are welcome, and I promise you will leave with reinforced stereotypes.
Is this so? Is it all like Italian food? You don't have like turkey and ham?
So, that's a good question, because on Thanksgiving, famously, we have 2 tables. We have the table with the turkey and ham and mashed potatoes, and then we have the table with the lasagna and the lamb and the meatballs. So, Christmas, you get a little column A, a little column B. There'll be ham, and there'll be,
right.
lamb, probably. But,
Okay, and then does like your grandfather conduct family business in the back office?
No, that's passed to me now. I handle the day to day.
So you take care of the family business, you take care of the money and all the guns and all that stuff.
All right, the like police chief showing up, and everyone's on the payroll.
Yeah.
Man, you guys, I go through so much trouble to keep my conversations on cell phones clean from the NSA, and now we just went ahead and recorded.
Oh, they're not paying attention to this shit.
Your Honor, we'd like to introduce Exhibit A against the defendant, Carmelo Chimera. We have here an episode of the Cult Classic Horror Show podcast, which we insist on playing for the jury in its entirety.
Well, we've gained some fans, hopefully.
12 more fans while I'm going to jail.
Exactly.
So they must have got some permissions from Disney here, because they're watching Snow White, and one of the Gremlins is like wearing Mickey Mouse ears. I'm surprised that Disney would have like attached themselves to this.
It shocks me because they're notoriously hard to work with licensing wise.
Yeah, well, maybe this was like early on, back in the day, and just you can walk your dog without a leash. We already talked about it.
Yeah, well,
and that was great foreshadowing for how poorly he takes care of the Mogwai.
That's true.
Yeah, you're right. God, fucking Billy, man.
Why does he take his dog why does he take it to work? Why? It doesn't want to sit under the shelf on some newspaper?
He can't get separated from his dog. He sleeps with him. He takes him to work. He has his little doghouse underneath his desk.
Yeah, see, my mother-in-law is like that with her Chihuahua, and I just waiting for it to die.
Hey, you could just accidentally step on him.
Yeah, that's true. He leaves little poops in my house, like little just balled up poops here and there sometimes. Actually, it's a she. Her name's Princess.
She left little poops in my house when she came and cleaned my house and brought her dog. Yeah, no, that happens. Now, apparently, in the car scene, the video game the Gremlin is playing is Star Wars 1983 game, and
I'm not familiar with that game.
No, I own it on Atari.
I know you don't.
But anyways, I was surprised during that scene that all these crazy gremlins or whatever possessed fucking crazy gremlins are in the bar, and Phoebe Cates is just working away, pouring the beers and stuff still. Like it's like she has to serve them. Like couldn't she just like run and scream and leave? But no, she's working the bar still.
I don't know. She's keeping them from killing her. Maybe they won't let her leave.
The Gremlins drinking the beer straight out of the tap.
I'm wondering why Carmelo didn't know this. There's an official comic strip adaptation.
There is? Oh,
that's
man,
what it says.
I'm slipping. Included
scenes that were not in the movie. That's just wondering about that. We get novels, comic strips now.
I will tell you this, the same way you feel about novelizations of movies, I feel the way about the comic books, because they don't deviate from the story too much, and then it just ends up being like a lame, 0-calorie version of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just
speaking just random thought. Speaking of comic strips and old video games, Comic Zone was an awesome game. Remember that one at all?
Yeah.
You get to like go between like the frames, like you like tear the floor and like go to the next strip.
That was awesome.
That's an awesome game. Sega Genesis. Just had to put that out there.
The guy with the long blonde hair.
Yeah, he sort of looked like Val Kilmer in Heat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he totally did.
Maybe a little bulkier though.
The Genesis was my system growing up. That was my jam.
Yeah, we had a Genesis at my dad's and a Super Nintendo at my mom's. So it was like either or,
That's cool.
Nice.
So it was like, it was like Street Fighter 2 on Super, but then it was like, it was like Street Fighter 2 and Contra Alien Wars on Super, and then on Sega it was like Mortal Kombat 3 and like Contra Hardcore, Just like, going back and forth. Yeah.
So Chris Columbus wrote this script. He also wrote the script for Home Alone. Oh no, he directed Home Alone and Home Alone 2.
Wrote the script for Goonies, right?
Yeah, he wrote the script for Goonies too,
which Steven Spielberg worked on. So
Chris Columbus has done a lot. But apparently
he founded America. Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck. And
Yeah, but that's controversial.
It is.
They owned a bunch of slaves and stuff.
Yeah,
so
no.
I don't
And
know.
technically, the natives were here first, I guess.
yeah, of course.
I don't know. Is that right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were already in production on Gremlins when he came and took credit for it, is what I'd heard. I think
Yeah.
that's the story of America.
That's what it was. Yeah, I think the Apache deserved the rights to Gremlins.
That's right. Yep.
I'm probably wrong. In my geographical location of where the Apaches are, they're probably not near a coast. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The dog. The dog.
No, I was saying, sorry.
Oh. Sorry.
Home Alone, Home Alone
Yeah,
2.
Danny, could you let him finish for one
Yeah,
goddamn minute?
I just can't hear. He's not here, so
You're just
he's dead to
punishing
me.
him for not being
He's
there.
dead to me. He's not here.
That's me. I have a door in my office.
I'm about to. I just told the door company to go ahead and come out here and template my archway. So there. Yep. I just want everyone to know that's the official announcement. They're like 6 weeks out, but they're gonna build me a custom fucking arch door so I can put it in my office.
Nice. No more noise. No more background noise.
Of course, everyone's
So we
sleeping
get
right now.
still like 12
People-
more episodes to hear about it. The 6 leading up to them coming in. And the 6
Exactly.
weeks it takes to build the thing.
See, and me and my dad are we have to install it ourselves because I'm already paying them a fortune to make this door.
They won't include the installation?
No, they don't install. They just make door. They just make custom doors.
They're going to make a custom arched door, and then you're going to put it in.
I am, yeah. It's pre-hung, so it's like, you just gotta like insert it and then trim it out, which my dad's helping. He's like a construction guy. I would never do it by myself.
Did you say it's pretty hung?
That's what I heard.
Oh yeah, that door is hung.
Yeah.
Pre-hung.
So Home Alone and Home Alone 2 and Gremlins all have a video clip of It's a Wonderful Life. I noticed it in this one, in Gremlins.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, that's It's a Wonderful Life.
Is it just like his favorite movie or something? And he slips it into all of his.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's a Wonderful Life's a great movie. It adds the Christmassy feel to all days.
Yeah, I need to watch. It's been a long. I don't even know if I've seen it. Tell you the truth,
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I might have. Maybe I get it mixed up with Miracle on I don't know.
It's black and white though.
I know. Well,
I mean,
so
I
is
love
Miracle on
Jimmy
34th
Stewart.
Street, right?
It's a really, Miracle on 34th Street's good too. Yeah.
Yeah. But Chris Columbus was actually going to make this a lot more gruesome. His original version had Gremlins killing the dog and cutting off the mom's head and tossing it down the stairs. But Joe Dante and Warner Brothers wanted the movie to be more family-oriented. So, too bad for Chris.
Yeah. Billy's dog is also played Lance Henriksen's dog in Pumpkinhead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. But we need to cover Pumpkinhead.
That's a great movie.
And you know what? I haven't watched it since I was probably like literally 14 years old. Not even joking.
That might be the last time I saw it too, actually.
Yeah. Isn't there like 3 of them or something? Or
They did. I think they did a good 3 or 4 of them. But
Yeah,
I think the last 2 are like, or maybe even all of them except the first were direct to DVD.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Next Halloween, that could be the one.
Yeah, we just can cover it before Halloween. Doesn't really matter. I don't think is Pumpkinhead Halloween specific. Does it have to be?
It's not, but if you wanted to theme it, you could say, "Oh, it's pumpkins." So if you wanted.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. God, I mean, we could just like.
There's
for those of you listening, there's just like 150 some interesting facts on IMDb for this, which is literally where we're getting all this shit from. So,
I got a little Wikipedia in there. I threw in there for you.
Did you? I mean, that's our show motto is like, we go to IMDb so you don't have to.
Exactly.
But hey, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that is like when I first started listening was with the aliens, and that really is part of what hooked me. Was like learning more behind the scenes stuff about the movies was a lot of fun. So.
I did say that I am making a newfound commitment to go deeper and get more information. I'm just letting everyone know that. I think I did talk about that like a couple times ago.
We really need to get on. I mean, obviously,
it didn't quite happen with Gremlins because I know everyone says like, oh, I'm so busy, whatever. But seriously, like we we like fucking could not even find the time to do this damn podcast, let alone watch the movie, let alone try and buy a DVD with like a ton of extras. And I will have you know, I did buy the special edition 25-year anniversary Blu-rays of Die Hards because it comes with a featurette that I'm going to watch and be prepared for Friday night's recording of Die Hard. So this is where my pledge starts.
Yes, we got it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say for the horror genre stuff, it's gonna have a hard start in like January, where we're gonna really get a little more into the behind the scenes stuff on the episodes. I'm really gonna like where we need to pre-plan the schedule. We're gonna pre-plan it, and then we're gonna like just do research on what we can buy, whether it's DVD wise that has commentaries and things, so we can get all the extra goodies on there.
Yeah, and have it all lined out. And we've done that on a lot of movies. But
honestly, a movie that's like as popular as Gremlins has 100 things on IMDb. You know, a lot of these movies we watch doesn't. You know, so
oh yeah, and there's so many. I actually looked up behind the scenes for Gremlins, and there's just like tons of YouTube and a bunch of other videos too. But I mean, obviously a lot of it has to go in of how they made the Gremlins and what all went into that and stuff. So you could just imagine how long it took to make each one.
I know that we just sort of brushed over this Phoebe Cates from Fast Times. Judge Reinhold is in it too, and he's in this. You know.
Oh yeah.
He just does not look like his name would be Judge. That's all. He just looks like a Pete or something.
He does look like a Pete, but does anybody look like a Judge?
I mean, I would picture like David Arbor's name being Judge, or like I don't know who else.
Mike, the creator of Beavis and Butthead.
Mike Judge? No, that's his last.
Yeah, well, the first name Judge. Yeah,
I did just watch the preview came out for Hellboy with David Arbor, and it looks pretty badass. So just want to put that out there.
I could see David Arbor being Judge. Yeah.
Thought it was going to be tough to match up to Ron Perlman because he's a badass, but David Arbor's pretty badass too.
Yeah, he is.
He is. He looks great as Hellboy. I thought that trailer just felt totally flat.
Yeah, it wasn't the best. I was looking at him basically and judging him on it. So,
I wonder why they used Perlman again.
He probably just didn't agree to it.
No, they wanted a reboot. I think there was talk for a long time about letting Guillermo del Toro do a third one and kind of round out like a trilogy. And it's just been in development hell for years before they decided to reboot.
Yeah, well, I honestly I think Perlman's getting pretty fucking old.
He is
to be playing Hellboy.
It's probably true.
Yeah, I don't know how good he looks anymore. I mean, I'm sure he probably looks great for what age he is, but as far as like going shirtless with body paint on the whole time, I don't know about that.
Yeah. So there's a second one, a second Gremlins. Too.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2, the new batch. Are we covering that one?
Is it Christmas?
If I may throw in my 2 cents on this, because I have a strong feeling about this one. You don't have to do it this year, but you got to do it. And the reason you got to do it is because Gremlins 2, I think, is one of those sequels that is maybe better than the original. I think Gremlins 2 is like so self-aware about Gremlins that it just amplifies what made it fun in the first place, you know. People love to make fun of the rules, for example, and like how they don't really make sense. And they tear that apart in Gremlins too. And
is it a Christmas movie? Does it take place? It is?
Yeah, it is a Christmas.
It takes place during Christmas. Gremlins 2.
Yep.
Well, let's just fucking do it next week then.
Well, who is saying? Yeah, we.
I'm just not like super familiar with it, so I'm just looking it up right now. New batch right here. Here you go.
I think Dante or who was it? Or maybe, no, Steven Spielberg. He said he liked it better than the first one. So there's a lot of reviews that people say it's better than this one, which is great too. So I mean, we definitely got to do it then.
Ooh, they take over a high-tech corporate skyscraper. It's gonna be like Die Hard.
It's basically Die Hard with Gremlins. But now that you say that, now I'm wondering if maybe I didn't confuse die hard with it too much, and maybe it's not a Christmas
Maybe
movie.
it's not a Christmas. All right, I'm looking this up right now.
Maybe
I'm not telling people.
We should still do it back to back, and then that way Rob will be able to get in on some Gremlin action too. And
it transitions you out of Christmas then if it's not. I swear to God, I thought it was a Christmas movie though.
Let's see.
Joe
Here.
Dante prefers it. That's why it's Joe Dante. There it is.
Is it gonna? I don't know how to see if it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna research that. We'll just see.
Yeah,
we must have all looked it up at the same time because Google knew that was like an autofill was like, is Gremlins do a Christmas movie?
I don't, well, we'll see about that because we haven't really decided what we're gonna do next week yet. There's probably like fans obviously who love Gremlins listening at this very moment, going, "Is that a fucking Christmas movie? Are you guys crazy?" Or going, "Duh, of course it's a Christmas movie, duh." So either or, we will figure it out and we will decide what we're doing next week because there's still plenty of Christmas joy to be had for Christmas horror.
I didn't realize there were so many horror Christmas movies.
I didn't either, to tell you the truth. Like we posted that in the group and there's just like tons of suggestions. So
yeah, we had a lot of good ones for we did like a little poll and
well, everyone wanted Gremlins, but I think
I participated in that poll. I think I voted for Gremlins now that I think of it.
Oh, all right. Well, here you go.
I was so afraid when he asked me to be on that you guys were going to say like Black Christmas because I hated that remake so much.
I've never seen the remake.
Yeah, I have not seen the remake.
It sucks.
I like the original.
I hate it.
Original was good.
The original one though.
I haven't seen the original actually.
Really? Oh goddamn, that girl is so hot. I mean, now she's probably like 75, but
it's a little dated, but it was. I thought it was good.
I forgot her name. She was in something else like after that. That's horror.
In Stepford Wives?
No. Hold on, I have to look this up now.
Yeah, just look it up. What's her name?
It shows how much of a horror expert we are for watching.
Olivia Hussey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Man, I
Yeah.
remember her from high school watching Romeo and Juliet and being like a 16-year-old boy, and that was like, you know, it was an all-boys Catholic high school. So for them to put that on with her, and she actually like, you know, there's like a sex scene in Romeo and Juliet. It was a huge mistake to show that to a room full of 16-year-old boys in an all-boys Catholic school.
Oh God,
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I could imagine that.
Well, she was in Psycho 4, so we probably saw her in that when we covered it.
That's right. We saw it in Psycho 4, which I love the Psycho sequels.
I did too, actually. They were actually all really good. The fourth one was even made for TV, and it was still good.
Oh, they were so good.
Yeah.
Psycho the beginning TV movie. Yeah, that's 4.
I gotta see them. I listened to every episode you did about Psycho, and I'm a huge fan of the original. Never seen the sequels, and you got me really jazzed to go watch them.
Yeah, well, I think even remember saying that I almost liked the second one better.
Yeah, seriously, they are really good for sure. I was pleasantly surprised about them. She's in 1990s It.
Yeah, I saw that too. All right, well, shit. I think that covers Gremlins for this week.
Yeah, I think
It was-
we got it.
Like you guys said, it was a hit. It did over 153.1 million in box office, and the budget was 11 million for it. So
Wow. Yeah.
not too bad.
All spent on, little Gremlins, probably. $40,000 Gremlins.
Yeah, shit.
Little Gizmo was so cute, though. I'd have him as a pet.
Oh
He
yeah.
seems high maintenance.
His little Howie Mandel squeaks.
You know, I don't know. Is it really high maintenance? Because I feel like 3 rules is low maintenance. I feel like normal pets come with like 130 rules.
Well, he seems
You know?
like he's like needy and cuddly and like almost more of a person. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm
That's
just
true.
I'm just getting it wrong.
I just love the cover of the movie. They're cute, clever, mischievous, intelligent, and dangerous. Sorry, I made that.
Yes. Well, that concludes Gremlins. Did you guys watch anything? I didn't have time to watch shit this week. Did I watch anything this week?
Well,
watch anything horror this week. I don't believe. I watched a couple of Christmas movies.
I didn't even watch any Christmas movies. I don't think I watched anything.
I didn't watch any horror movies. I did watch the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer claymation classic cartoon.
Oh, that's a horror movie.
Love that.
My wife had never seen it, and I thought, it's like a huge Christmas classic. And
because I've been watching the kids here and there, I did watch plenty of. I watched Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas, Scrooge McDuck. So yeah, I've watched that shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I watched the end of a couple Hallmark movies when I was going to bed, but.
Well, I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
Oh, yeah. God.
Just has them on, and, I just... the fake snow and that's even worse.
Ugh.
It's all piled in one area, and the rest sunny and 80 degrees out.
All right. Well,
before we go, I think maybe we should take a moment of silence for Steve Dash. I think I just heard it was today that he passed away. The Friday the 13th Part 2.
I did hear that. I did hear that. I will give him 5 seconds of silence.
Let us do that.
Ready? Here we go. Oh, that was tough.
Oof, yeah. I think we lost half your viewers.
Yeah, everyone's gone now. Yep. Everyone's gone.
Yeah, well, rest in peace, R.I.P. Steve Dash. He'll be missed.
Yes. All right, well, cool.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. This was great.
Yeah, we'll just have you again in a couple nights for Die Hard.
That's right.
Get it? Yeah, Friday night. You guys get on there.
So you guys, if you're not part of our Patreon account, go to patreon.com/cultclassichorror. We've already covered Cobra and Commando. So, yeah.
And I think Van Damme's got to be next.
Oh, yeah.
We hit a Schwarzenegger, we hit a Stallone, we're going to hit a Bruce Willis. I think we really owe Van Damme.
We have to do Van Damme. This is why I started CCA, is to cover Van Damme movies.
He was going to be a first, but no.
Yeah. So,
out of the way, though.
So you can listen to those 2 episodes we've already done. You can catch us Friday night, Die Hard. And we're trying. Well, we're trying to do every other week, but this month's probably going to end up being just one for this month. So, that could happen. We're going to say every other week, but it might be where sometimes where there's a couple weeks in between. So, just letting you know.
Yeah. Yes.
It's all about the schedules.
Once we're out of December, it'll be a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. Way easier. So,
Die
Hard will be your CCA for the month of December. All right, guys. Well, cool. Thanks for joining us. Follow us at Danny Bonin, at Scotty Bonin. I don't even know if you want people to follow you, Carmelo. So,
no, yeah, I love it. If you guys find me on Facebook, you can find Chimera's Comics on Facebook. ChimerasComics.com if you're interested. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. At Cult Classic Horror on everything except at CC Horror on Twitter. And yeah. That'll do it. So thanks for joining us, you guys. And
get those Gremlins memes in. Got to get some new horror halftime winners.
Yes, Gremlins memes for next week, and we'll let you know what we're doing next week. Like a day or two ahead of time. So we'll let you know. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week.
Later, guys.
Don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Oh, yes. There will be blood.